Today is September 6th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It's a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're going to read Chapter 4 of We Agnostics, page 56. And we read a little bit ahead yesterday in the 12 and 12, so we're going to skip the reading today. But we will be reading today's daily reflection and 24 hours a day. So it should be a short day of reading today, unless I start rambling a little, which can be a possibility. But with that, guys, hope y'all are doing well this morning. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours, and that is always a good thing. You know, if we're alive today, we have hope, we have a clean slate, and we can work on showing our best for those we love the most, including ourselves. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Alright, my friends, so in We Agnostics, at the bottom of page 55 yesterday, it said, "In this book you will read the experience of a man who thought he was an atheist. His story is so interesting that some of it should be told now. His change of heart was dramatic, convincing, and moving." So we're going to hear a little bit about that story today. Page 56. Our friend was a minister's son. He attended church school where he became rebellious at what he thought an overdose of religious education. For years thereafter, he was dogged by trouble and frustration. Business failure, insanity, fatal illness, suicide. These calamities in his immediate family embittered and depressed him. Post-war disillusionment, ever more serious alcoholism, impending mental and physical collapse brought him to the point of self-destruction. One night, when confined in a hospital, he was approached by an alcoholic who had known a spiritual experience. Our friend's gorge rose as he bitterly cried out, "If there is a God, he certainly hasn't done anything for me." But later, alone in his room, he asked himself this question: is it possible that all the religious people I've known are wrong? While pondering the answer, he felt as though he lived in hell. Then, like a thunderbolt, a great thought came. It crowded out all else. Who are you to say that there is no God? The man recounts that he tumbled out of his bed onto his knees. In a few seconds, he was overwhelmed by a conviction of the presence of God. It poured over and through him with the certainty and majesty of a great tide at flood. The barriers he had built through the years were swept away. He stood in the presence of the infinite power and love. He stepped from bridge to shore. For the first time, he lived in conscious companionship with his Creator. Daily Reflection, September 6th. Removing threats to sobriety. Except when to do so would injure them or others. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 59. Step 9 restores in me a feeling of belonging, not only to the human race, but also to the everyday world. First, the step makes me leave the safety of AA so that I may deal with the non-AA people out there on their terms, not mine. It is a frightening but a necessary action if I am to get back into life. Second, step 9 allows me to remove threats to my sobriety by healing past relationships. Step 9 points the way to a more serene sobriety by letting me clear away past wreckage, lest it bring me down. And finally, 24 hours a day, September 6th. AA Thought for the Day. Another of the mottos of AA is, live and let live. This, of course, means tolerance of people who think differently than we do, whether they are in AA or outside of AA. We cannot afford the luxury of being intolerant or critical of other people. We do not try to impose our wills on those who differ from us. We are not holier than thou. We do not have all the answers. We are not better than other good people. We live the best way that we can, and we allow others to do likewise. Am I willing to live and let live? Meditation for the day. And this is life eternal, that we may know Thee, the only true God. Learning to know God as best you can draws the eternal life nearer to you. Freed from some of the limitations of humanity, you can grow in the things that are eternal. You can strive for what is real and of eternal value. The more you try to live in the consciousness of the unseen world, the gentler you will be in passing into it when the time comes for you to go. This life on earth should be largely a preparation for the eternal life to come. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may live each day as though it were my last. I pray that I may live my life as though it were everlasting. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. I love that last reading. The prayer, I pray that I may live each day as though it were my last. That reminds me of a great movie. If anyone's ever seen Dead Poets Society, Robin Williams, it was back in the late 80s, I think. Carpe diem. Seize the day. That's an old Roman poet is credited with that saying. And I guess we can seize each and every day. In a way, this program, that's what it's talking about. We don't assume that we're going to wake up tomorrow. We live this set of 24 hours. And I know for me, one way I can seize this day is trying to show up best for the ones I love the most. To be honest, loving, gentle, to reach out to people that maybe I haven't talked to in a long time. Instead of making assumptions that other people know I love them, why not tell them? At the very least, it might make their day. To live without fear. If this is my last day on earth, I might want to try all the things I always wanted to try. Or at least a few of them. And also, the top part. Am I willing to live and let live? I don't know much. It's pretty obvious, I guess, if you listen to the show. I don't know much, but I do know that I don't have all the answers. This is just my experience. I've seen some people quit drinking all on their own, never have to darken the door to any fellowship, and it works for them. I've seen some people in the fellowship that openly admit they never do any of the steps. But hey, they're sober. Who am I to say that my way is the only way? I guess we all have our belief systems. All I can talk about, anytime I share on the show, I really try to make it just my own experience, because everyone else has their own belief system, everyone else has their own experience, and everyone else is going to do these steps a little differently if they do them at all. And then outside of the program, it's the same thing. We live in a world of other people that have their own kind of microcosm, their own little world. Can I accept them as they are? But I think a bigger question for me has always been, can I accept myself as I am, not as I should be? And I'm getting there. I look at alcoholism, and it is a disease. Would I hate myself if I had cancer? You go, oh man, look at you. You're so irresponsible. No. I'd show myself love. And I'd do whatever I could do to get this cancer out of my system. All right. And that's me living one day at a time, working this program. That's helping me get rid of this disease mindset, But I sure don't hate myself in the process. Guys, I'll admit, man, my whole life, from childhood on up, I was always so insecure and fearful. And I just didn't like me. I didn't know who I was. But in sobriety, I finally started liking who I was and accepting myself just the way I am. I never in a million years thought I could ever feel this good and this happy. So again, for me, sobriety is so much more than not drinking. I always consider the things that I've gained. And I hope the same thing for you, my friends. If you're sober today, you're a miracle. And I'm sure that those who love you are very proud of you. If we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.